Hello there. Remember these? Remember that whole thing we did a few years ago? That whole pandemic? In December 2019, a novel virus emerged from Wuhan, China, designated COVID 19. It soon spread around the world's population. And by March 11th of 2020, the World Health Organization designated it a pandemic. About 4 days later, shutdowns and other mitigation techniques were used in the United States to try and quell the deaths evident of this virus. Today I'm going to discuss a few of the lasting implications of the COVID-19 pandemic on the United States legal justice system. I'm sorry. We don't got to do that anymore, do we? On the American legal justice system. From the process of the courts themselves to how attorneys interact with their clients, as well to prison incarceration rates. The American justice system was no exception to the COVID-19 limitations and the needs to innovate around them. Similar to healthcare settings, courts use triage techniques to assess the most pressing concerns. Many cases were put on the back burner, but essential and pressing situations inspired measures to mitigate health risks while attending to business. Plexiglass barriers, hand sanitizer, face masks, and as much social distancing as could be afforded. Some judges held courts outside. Some used school gymnasiums to allow as much social distancing as possible. Some courts even allowed counsel to attend criminal cases over the telephone. In quick time, the most prominent tool for the job was recognized to be video conferencing. As a result, arraignments, pretrial hearings, depositions, and motions practices have been shown to be less time-consuming and burdensome to the court, attorneys, and to their clients through the use of this technology, as they had previously been when attended in person. Less court staff is needed to accomplish these tasks via video conferencing than when held in the courtroom. The ease of switching to one case to another, from filing one entire courthouse out for one trial to filing another, which commonly takes about an hour or more, is mitigated completely through the use of this technology. The benefits of this new dynamic have been such that even after the necessity of the pandemic has passed, governmental bodies have opted to continue utilizing digital methods as a norm. Attorneys and clients have also benefited from this. Attorneys are able to attend to more clients in less time without the need to travel to a courthouse for every proceeding, and also bill less hours to their clients for the self-same reasons. Meeting with prospective clientele in the digital space reduces the need for attorneys to set in-person consultations, while affording a more comprehensive discussion than is afforded by telephone alone. This increases the access to legal services to the general public, as the cost and connection is less and timelier, respectively. Finally, we come to the final step of the criminal justice system: prison. The United States prison system has for several decades been called Incarceration Nation, as we house roughly a quarter of the world's prison population here in the freest nation in the world. Densely packed masses of people became particularly worrisome on the advent of the pandemic, spurring state and federal regulations to release prisoners imprisoned for nonviolent crimes, an effort to reduce the spread of the infection internally. Procedural changes were made to restrict the number of accused languishing in jail while waiting due processes. Bails were reduced to nothing, reconnaissance was upped, less burglaries were reported during the pandemic, less break-ins in general as people were home and there were no empty houses to be broken into. At the same time, there was a negative effect where less domestic abuse was reported in a time where domestic abuse was probably getting a little higher. people stuck at home with an abuser no longer had the outlet of school or work to report their abusers. These factors, as well as a lower pretrial detention, easy and earlier release of prisoners, and lower rates of crime reported, had the desired effect of drastically reducing the number of inmates in jails and prisons. Between 2020 and 2021, the prison population of the United States reduced 17.3%. And a nation with a largely privatized prison population, there has been a profit incentive for keeping American citizens locked up. The paradigm shift of the pandemic illuminated other options than the arguably counterproductive methods used since the 1980s. Perhaps the United States no longer needs to be an incarceration nation. From the court processes themselves, to the relationship between attorneys and clients and the ease of facilitating such, and also to the lowered rates of incarceration, we have seen many favorable adaptations of our criminal justice system resulting from the pandemic. Still, let's not do that again. Thank you for listening. Have a healthy day.